What's up, everybody? Crazy 8 here with another Transformers review. This time from Age of the Primes, we are looking at Quintus Prime, one of the 13 primes. So let's take a quick look at the box, and then we'll get into the figure. Alright, so here is the Age of the Prime box. We're used to this format by now. So here you have Quintus Prime. It's a great artwork here of him in alt mode and robot mode right here. Over here you got 3 of the 13 primes, 2 all as one. Here's a deluxe class. Got this new badge, not new, but been here for a while. It tells you how many steps. We go from robot to alt mode. It's 15. Very easy alt mode to transform, by the way. Just to say that, here's a great picture of him right there, holding his, I forgot what they call that. I gotta look it up real quick. I know I'm a horrible Transformers fan. Quintus Prime up here. Over here we got product shots. We got the glowing pineapple down here. We have his ship mode, what you can do with the pineapple in ship mode, and you got Quintus Prime right there as well. Again, 15 steps. Here's all this. Here's a QR code if you need it, or a barcode, whatever you want to call it. Here is the bottom, which is very boring, and we don't need to look at that really. But that is the box. All right, so here is Quintus Prime. Very green and very different than the others, which I'm digging the variety of looks that each of the primes have. You know, it's always a breath of fresh air to see something new and different. So let's take a quick look at the details of this guy. So from what I'm reading, he is the scientist of the 13 primes. Very, very smart. The glowing pineapple is called an ember stone. I like that head sculpt. The green, the dark green on the light green with the, you got light piping back there. Yeah, he does have light pipe. It's hard to see with that this in the way, but he has light piping. Here's the details of the arms. He's got this big piece right here, which, you know, I hate that. Reminds me of I actually have the guy out too with his arm kibble, you know. And I think of Blur also from the Studio Series line that has that huge arm thing in the bottom. It's kind of an eyesore. Not the end of the world, but you know, I wish it was cleaner. Here's his chest piece. A lot of green going on here. Then he's got his grass skirt, or very techno organic skirt, I guess you could say. Very translucent, but really cool looking as well. Very different. And then, you know, if you want to be pervy about things, you can lift up the skirt and you can see his legs, which is very translucent as well. I know some people don't like translucent plastic, the brittle factor, but he has, these are his legs, and his feet are all translucent. And here he is in the back. Pretty much is like the ship back here. And then he's got these tentacles, which you could do two things with you. If you want to have them in the back like that, or you could bring them up and around like this. I like this look because it, you know, I do like having these up front like this. You know, it gives them, and you can play with that as well. But I do like having them up front. And now for his only accessory, which I call the glowing pineapple, but it's actually called the ember stone. This guy right here. It's got the logo right there. You can faintly see it. Let's see if I can get a better read on it. No. And he could hold that like this in his arm. And that's his only accessory. It doesn't come with anything else. Now let's do some comparisons. All right, so here he is with the Quintus on and the Quintus on High Commander from Transformers 1. This is with my Cronus and Alchemist Prime. Here he is with Alpha Trion and Primer Prime. Here he is with Vector Prime and Solus Prime. Here he is next to Megatronus. The flames are packed away with my other blast effects. Here he is with Onyx Prime, Alchemist, and finally Star Optimus. Alright, so here are my 11 out of the 13 primes, using Vector from a Legacy Prime, from the Legacy line as my 11th prime. If I didn't have them, it would be only the 10 of them. But here they are in a group shot, and they look pretty good together. Everything looks different, and nice cast of characters. Alright, so that was my look at Quintus Prime from Age of the Primes. He is, if you count Vector Prime from Legacy, he's 11th prime out of the 13. If you don't count Vector, he's 10 out of the 13. So we're almost done with that. I'm kind of glad that they're not dragging it out for 3 years to get all the 13 primes, that we're getting them pretty quick. And we should be complete, before summertime, which is nice. He is a really good looking character. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I saw him, I was like, ugh, I don't know if I want to get him, but if I have the others, I had to get him because I felt like I need to get all 13, right? Robot mode's pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is this stuff on his arms. I feel like I wish I would have done it better. I think of going Vortex from Age of the Primes, and I'm thinking Blur Studio Series. And of course there's others, but those come to mind right away with this arm kibble. As for accessories, he only has one, and it's stored back here. It's the Emberstone, and it's got good storage for it. If my fat fingers can open the damn thing up. Which I probably didn't show. I should have showed earlier, but I didn't. If I could get it open. There we go. Which is nice. So you have it right here. It's like, when it's in alt mode, it's like a pilot kind of thing. But it's right here too. It sticks out in chest. Really nice touch to that. But that's the only accessory he comes with. Nothing else. No staff or anything, but oh well. But decent robot mode. Now let's do the transformation, so stay tuned for that. That's coming up next. Alright, so let's get Quintus Prime transformed into his alt mode. Alright, so you're going to take his arms. Nice and tight. Bring him up like this. Turn it and bring it up and bring him out like that. Like he's praising something. And then from this point, you want to rotate the arm until you see the peg, the ball joint on both sides. Like that. So you want to rotate them out. Try to keep these arms as straight as possible. So you have that going on. So you want to take this, which it should be tabbed in, but mine's not. But anyway, it comes up over the hand. This one's not even tabbed in either. Ideally, it should be tabbed in. Again, up and over, covers the arm. So you have the front end of the ship coming together like that. All right, you want to take the head, mush it back. Then you want to bring the arms up into here like this. There is a tab slot, if you can see it. There's a little nib and there's a little hole. You want to bring those up. In there like that, and then you want to bring the arms over together and join them up and bring them out like that. Let me bring this up higher. So but you want to take these and you want to just join them and tab them together. It's all about getting things to play nice. I did have it. There we go. So you have that look going on for the front end of the ship. So I cleaned it up a little better. I had to bring these in closer, but there's like 4 tabs that all line up to keep it nice and close, so you have a nice cleaner look going on that looks like this. So then you want to take the tentacles, right, is on this side that they come into. Yeah, so on this side the tentacles come up and around. And if you look on the chest, let me see if I can see them. Here they are. See these 2 ports right here? That's where these things are going to lay. So, let me see. You might have to turn these around because I think, yeah. So mine weren't turned around, so I have to turn these around. And then, let's see. Where is that port? It's on this side. There you go. And they fit in like that, and they kind of act like a landing gear for the front end of the ship. Okay, the next step, rotate the waist all the way around like that. So now you want to bring up the skirt. I just bring them the whole thing up because you're gonna have to work on the legs next. So get all these out of the way. These dark green bits are gonna come up and they're gonna tab into that little tab right here. Bring it up and it should just like snap in on both sides. Like that. And then you want to take this portion of the leg and bring them up, and that should tab in as well. Bring it up. There's always one that fights, it seems like. One goes in really easy, and there's one that's just like, nope, not today. And it's this foot right here that's fighting me to go into its home. Let me do it off camera. All right, so they're both in their homes. There's a little notch, and let me bring it out. I'll show you again. In the crotch right here, this little piece right there, it just gotta go. It doesn't really like snap in. It looks like it just sits in there, like so, like that, to have it snap into place. So then you just take the feet and bring them down, and then you can close up the grass skirt. Now these should tab into different places. Actually, if you think of it, so right here it should just come and line up and snap right in. Like that on both sides. I forgot about that. Same thing on the back. Oop, don't hit the camera. And then these just fall down to the sides. So you have that look going on, which is pretty much just putting the feet underneath the skirt to make this effect look. You know, of course, these just don't really snap in, they just kind of rest there. But that is the ship mode for Quintus Prime. That is the transformation. So coming up next, we'll take a quick look at the details on this thing. All right, let's take a look at the vehicle. And it's pretty much him putting his arms over his head and retracting his feet. But let's take a look at the details. We'll start off, let's do it like this. First, let's take a quick look at the whole thing. That's the good thing. You can put it like this to help stand it up. Save shelf space. But here it is from the top. Then the bottom is pretty much Quintus Prime with his arms up. But we'll take a look at the details of the top of the ship. You know, it's all the greens and stuff we already seen. So you got 2 blasters here. There is the cockpit. Then you got the garage skirt. Now you could flare these out if you wanted to. Like that. You know, give it more. But then you can see the feet. But you could do that if you wanted to. You know, you could, these are clipped in, so if you want to unclip them and you do that too, you could, but the back. Yeah, it's pretty much very underwhelming. And then in here, let me see how I get this thing open. Okay, pop it open. For the cockpit, you got the Emberstone. Chilling. Now you could pop this out. Kind of doesn't really. There is some detailing up here, but for the most part, that's your pilot, if you want to call it that. Now let's do some comparisons. Here he is with Alpha Trion. Oof. I only did the ships because everyone else is different. But you can see how they look together. With Vector Prime with the add-on kit. Gives them bigger wings. This one keeps falling off. It's a pain in the ass. But you can see how they look together. It's kind of hard because he doesn't really sit flush. So it's the best I could do, really. I didn't even bother transforming him to his alt mode because it doesn't even make sense. But he stays like this. He has no alt mode, if you ask me. Here he is with the Quintus Commander from Transformers 1, where they can see where they're more similar in ship designs. Not by much, but kinda. Now this last one is nothing to compare him with, but when I saw how the Emberstone was in the cockpit, right, let me open this up real quick. I don't think I'm crazy, but alright, so when I saw that, the first thing I thought of, believe it or not, was Jason the Wheeled Warriors, right? And how their pilot in Sawboss has like a sack like this. This is the driver for the plant people or the Sawboss, right? I saw this and I thought right away, when I saw that, I thought of this. I don't know why, but I did. By the way, this is a cool toy line. Here's a comparison of the two. Actually, kind of look good together. Yeah. You'll do it this way. So you can see the tire. There we go. It's a pretty cool toy line. I gotta get more of these. I know it's a weird comparison, but it's what I thought of when I saw this. So that was alt mode for Quintus Prime. The 11th Prime, if you count Vector Prime, or the 10th Prime from Age of the Primes, depending on who you have and who you count. This part I'm not a fan of at all. It's just him. If you look at it over here, that's what it is pretty much. Very weak. Not my favorite. Not much to say. Good details, but not much to say about it. It's okay. His robot mode's where he stands. Anyway, that is it for Quintus Prime's alt mode. Alright, so that was my look at Quintus Prime from Age of the Primes. He is our 10th Prime that we got from Age of the Primes. Again, if you count Vector Prime from Legacy, then we have 11, but in just Age of the Prime releases, he is the 10th one to have. He is very different. Color-wise, I like the colors. I think he pops. He pops with all the others. His lawnmower is weak. I don't like it. It's just his arms over his head and his feet tucked in. Very blah. Although it does look like Transformers 1. I can see the similarities between Transformers 1 and this guy, but for the most part, yeah. Oop, I knocked him over. I do like this mode, though. It looks really good. His head sculpt is really good, too. The only accessory he comes with is the Ember Stone, but it's all right. I'm pretty sure third party will do something also with him. I know, like, one of the studios really changed up Primer Prime. I think it's Akia Studios. I'm saying it right. Anyway, if you're not, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell. I've been under the weather. You can tell, like, my voice isn't the same right now. But I'm receiving treatment, so I should be better. I'm back to normal by next week. So I should be posting more and more on this channel. So stay tuned for more. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.